Well, hello, everybody. What's today? Thursday. Happy Thursday. You are live with the Monica Kelley Show. And today we are going to shoot episode number 3. And I have a guest in the studio with me today. And when I tell you, honey, y'all, she stepped up in here and she is so snazzy. I told her, girl, you looking good. I mean, I done told her about 10 or 15 times that she looks good. But anyway, we're going to hop right in and we're going to get started. And today I want to introduce you all to a lady that I met at Rosemary Lewis's birthday party, I believe. She invited me, her birthday bash. And Rosemary and I met back 4 years ago on Clubhouse. And so, yes, we met on Clubhouse. That's how we met. And I just kind of started following her and Shalina. And so every week or whenever they had their shows, I would hop on there and just talk to them. And they talked to me and I talked to them. And I was really listening in because I wasn't even licensed at the time. So I didn't get my license until shortly after I passed my test and everything was good to go. And so this lady walked into, I can't even remember the name of the place we were at for Rosemary's birthday party. But I sat down and she was sitting right there and she was nice and she was friendly and we had a conversation. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we found each other on social media. We have exchanged phone numbers. And I think we've been in each other's presence now. This make the 3rd time.
Yes, I agree.
Which is on episode number 3. Look at that. 3 and 3. I love it. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Miss Dominique Davis.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
so
for having me.
You're so welcome. Y'all look at her. Don't she look so beautiful? Oh, I love it. All right. So let's start out with you just telling us a little bit about your life, your family life, kind of like a little bit about your personal life, just to kind of get you going.
Okay. Well, I am a mother, which is actually what prompted me to jump back into real estate.
Okay.
Just to back up a little bit, I'm from Austin, went to the University of Texas there, and went to business school. Okay. So I have always known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur at that time, which is funny. I wanted to be in fashion. I don't even think about that much anymore. Wanted to be in fashion and didn't know what aspect of that, but when I got out, of course, a business degree is kind of generalized. So it's like, what am I going to do with my life? And decided at that time to just get my teaching certification.
Wow.
Which is funny because in high school, I used to get mistaken for being a substitute teacher.
Oh, wow.
I went to school halftime and went to work halftime.
Right.
And was working for Austin City Hall for a council member. And so I would come in professional clothing to school. And so all the time I would get mistaken for a teacher. And I was like, but teachers don't make enough. Like, I'm going to the business school. I'm going to be jet setting with my baby. Like, I had the vision. I knew I wanted a family business. I didn't know what kind of business.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like, when you're struggling and you're hungry, I was like, well, I'm going to go teach and I'll have summers off and I'll use the summers to figure out what business I want to do.
Wow.
So fast forward, got my teaching certification, had no problem getting a position and was actually really good at it. Like a lot of the administrative skills and teaching skills, didn't know that was a natural gifting at the time, but also was in line with what I had learned in business as well. And so accelerated really fast, decided to get my master's and became an elementary school principal.
Wow.
You wake up one day and I'm like, this is not what I wanted to do.
Wow.
I'm good at it, but this was not the original plan, right?
Right.
And honestly didn't like the politics of education neither. That's a whole nother realm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. But I needed an exit strategy.
Right.
So to bring back to your original question, my exit strategy was going to be real estate. I had bought a home in my mid-20s and I decided to sell it because it was in an area that I no longer wanted to live in. That's in regards to that educational piece as well. And so I sold my home, and when I saw the commission I paid, I said, I can do this.
Right.
I can do this. So I found champions. Amazing. It was structured. It was efficient. And I had that from UT. So I was like, it fell in line with that. I grinded it out. I took night classes. I took weekend classes. I think I had my license like within 6 weeks.
Wow.
Like I was not playing.
Wow.
Like I was going to do this,
yes,
right?
Yes.
My grandmother passed away like a
Oh.
few weeks later, if not a few months later. And so I literally spent the whole summer on the couch. And I just I didn't get the business off the ground.
Right.
But ironically ended up meeting my husband. I was at a campus and he was servicing that campus in the technology field of it, realm of it. I was an administrator. Wow. He was a tech person. And I hate when he tells people we met at work, but honestly, that is the truth. We met at work. And so he was there for me in that rough period of transitioning out of education. What am I going to do? Just the kind of that lost phase, but then also that grieving phase as well. Right. And I am an extremely loyal person. So his loyalty, his sensitivity, his kindness, his compassion, his patience. I mean, all of it. Truly, I tell him, I don't know if I tell him enough, but in my quiet time, I have been in church all my life, but my husband really, for the first time, gave me a tangible experience of the love of Jesus. Oh, like when you read that scripture and it's like love is patient, love is kind. That is my husband. Like he embodies love for me. That is so I love it. Points, husband.
Yes, you get all the points. All the points.
Yes.
That is so sweet.
So that's how it worked out. Went back into the classroom and was honestly not ashamed of it. Like had went to assistant principal, and then I don't want this. I don't want it. I'm happy. I'm in love. Like I went back to the classroom and was still trying to figure things out. And we got married and I still had that entrepreneurial itch. I did some hair braiding. Wow. Like all kind of stuff, just trying to figure it out. We ended up moving to Allen in January of 2020. My husband took a technology role for Allen ISD. I took a teaching position in Dallas ISD. And when I had my son, to bring it all to culmination, I had my son and I was like, you know what? I'm not going back. Oh, wow. I'm going to reinstate this license. Yeah. I reinstated it. All I had to do was just retake the test. I did that in August. My baby was probably due like spring. He ended up coming on Valentine's Day. Oh, so I already had my license. Right. Always thinking ahead, always trying to have a plan. Right. And so when he was born, he was in NICU for about 4 weeks. And I was literally cold calling in the waiting room of the NICU. Wow. Trying to make it happen. Wow. So that was an extremely long answer, but that is how I started it. In real estate transition, took a break. That was probably like from getting married to moving here, maybe like a 4 year break of not doing anything with the license, and then jumped all in February 2022. And here we are 2 years later. Wow. I love it. So let's talk about cold calling. Since you brought that up, and it's just not for me. I have tried it, and I don't feel like I'm successful at it. But I'm also new. So whenever you make a cold call, do you have a script that you go by? Oh, absolutely. Okay, well, let's hear the script. So just to back up a tad bit, I was on a team. Okay, and that team had some type of marketing. So maybe you could call it warm calling, right? Because some of the leads had at least connected with that website, was interested in a particular community. And so I was calling them, following back up, but they had never spoken to me before. Right. It didn't work for me either. Yes. It did not work. I tried that team for 3 months. Of course, my baby had just come home from NICU and it did not work. It didn't work for me. But I did have a script. Fast forward a little bit, I was independent. I got a coach, and this coach encouraged cold calling as well. But this was cold calling. They don't know me. I don't know you. You're not connected with me.
Right.
Extreme freezing calling, right? And it was hard.
Yes.
Very hard.
Yes.
My baby would start crying sometimes in the background. I felt so unprofessional. I had milk spit up all on me. And I honestly did not close a deal from it. I finally, one day, my baby was sick. I had put him in daycare, had finally mustered up enough money to put him in daycare. And he was sick and at home. And because I had the accountability of the coach, I said, like, I got to get these calls. Like, somebody got to call them.
Right.
And I remember hearing about Fiverr. And I found a company on Fiverr. And for that week, I mustered up enough money for them to make the calls.
Yes. Yes.
And it changed
the game. Yes.
And I was like, I don't have to be good at everything.
That's right.
You can hire some professionals.
That's
and get
right.
some help.
Right. So let me talk about that for a minute. You are exactly right. Whenever you think that you are good at every single thing, you're normally failing at just about every single thing.
Preach.
So you have to learn how to delegate. And I'm speaking to all real estate agents right now. Learn how to delegate. Spend the money to pay for a transaction coordinator. Spend the money to pay for a marketer. Spend the money to pay for somebody to make the phone calls that Dominique just finished speaking on, because it frees up your time.
Yes.
Your job, I feel like, as an agent, and I think my team owner said it the best. You get the contract, you bring it back, we take care of it from there.
That's amazing.
And so that's the way it should be, because in September, now that's when I call myself getting burnt out a little bit. And I'm just like, okay, I'm tired. We had just
I would have
met.
never
You
known.
would have never known. I carry things extremely well.
If I'm on your way to Mexico, to be exact.
I carry things well, where people, and my mom and my family tells me this all the time, like, it's okay not to be okay. You need to tell somebody that you're not okay.
Right.
But I'm just different. I try to hang on to it. When I'm not okay and I call you and I say I'm not okay, that means I'm not
You've been
okay.
Not okay like for months.
Yes. So I'm one of those people that carries the weight on my shoulders and in my heart, and you will never, ever know.
I'll remember that.
Yes. But cold calling it's tough.
Yes.
And so when I first, decided that I was going to join the team, I came up here and I was like, this is almost set up like a call center, just the way, because in the office that I came from, everybody had their own individual offices. And so there's a lot of people that are getting away from individual offices and they have like just desks. So the mentality is, if you're in the office, to me, I used to say, if I'm in the office, then that means I'm not doing anything. So I need to be out moving around. So I'm glad that you brought that up, that yes, you need to learn how to delegate, because it can save your business and it can save you personally. Because sometimes we feel like we have to have our hands in every single pot. And you do have your hand in the pot, but you're able to manage that pot.
Yes.
So, all right.
That's good, because if I had to cold call, I wouldn't be a realtor.
Absolutely.
And that's where I was getting.
Right.
Like, that was truly a lifesaver. Like, I was so stressed out. I had just put my baby in daycare and he was getting sick literally every week.
They do.
Every week. And it's amazing how they say, like, fail up, right? And that failure made me get creative and innovative.
There you go.
And so that's what happens. Don't be afraid of the failure. Don't be afraid of the hard times, because then you start thinking of solutions. Right?
Yes. I think whenever we're all in our struggle, that's when we discover what works for us the best. We think about our next move.
Exactly.
But we have to go through that struggle to think about that next move, because otherwise, if we just going and we on a high, we're not thinking about it. But when you hit that brick wall, you're like, oh God, what do I need to do now? That's when you actually can slow down and listen to his still and quiet voice, because he gonna get you then. That's when he really gonna get you. So at least for me, because
us all,
he don't play about me. So when he tell me to stop, I better stop. So, and I'm thankful that I have that relationship with him. So,
amen.
How long have you been licensed?
It's always the tricky question when people ask, because I was licensed for like the 2 years, but I didn't do anything with it. And then from reinstating in August of 21, then it'll be 3 years this coming August again.
Okay. So from August of 2021 to August to today,
Mm-hmm.
how many transactions have you had?
Oh, and I knew you were going to ask me that. And I started to look it up, and I said, I don't want to look it up because I don't care how many I've done. And that truly is my spirit.
Right.
But the first year I did about 12.
Mm-hmm.
No, the first year I probably didn't do nothing. First year I did one.
Wow.
So from my baby being born on Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
the cold calling with the team,
Mm-hmm.
or warm calling, the cold calling on my own, all of that. I closed one deal and it was in December. I remember right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some money before Christmas, before the new year, and gave me a little boost.
Right.
So that I didn't just quit altogether.
Right.
And then the next year, so that would have been 23.
Mm-hmm.
I did 12.
Good.
And now we're here. And I think this year I maybe have done 4. Done 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. Right. But they've been big.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I love it. So for all my sisters that are up here in the DFW area, y'all can do 12 freaking transactions and make the same thing that I make.
We're sorry.
That's okay. Versus me having to do 50 and 60 to make what you guys make, but that all comes down to the average price point.
Right.
And
that is
being in the neighborhoods that are the prices, one neighborhood, every house in the neighborhood is $750,000. Whereas sometime in Texarkana, every house in the neighborhood may not be over 300.
Right.
So there's a difference between the rural area and actually being in the city.
Yes.
And so I'm like,
or the suburbs.
The suburbs per se. And definitely. I'm like, oh my goodness, when I was talking to another agent, she was like, yeah, I did 24 transactions last year and this is my average price point. And then every time I go somewhere and they say, well, how many transactions have you done this year? And I may rattle off, well, last year I did 56. And they're like, oh my God, you did 56. And I'm like, yeah, I did 56. And they was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, but my average price point is not your average price point. So I do work 2 times harder than everybody else. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I do remember you asking me, you called me and I think you had $1 million transaction going. And you sent me a text. You was like, Monica, where are you? You need to get up here and sell $1 million houses. And I'm like, girl, I'm in Texarkana. I'm chilling down here in Texarkana. She was like, you deserve to be up here selling these houses. And I do believe that I do deserve that. But it's just not my time yet.
Understandable.
So
you follow God.
That's right. So talk to me about your smallest transaction that you've had and your largest transaction that you have and the experience with both.
Smallest, well, when you first said that, I was thinking a lease, right? A lease is the smallest transaction. But home-wise, like a buy or sell, maybe $299, I think has been the small. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Smallest was $299.
Yeah. Okay. How was the experience with that transaction? Was it tough, pulling teeth, or how was it?
Honestly, it came from it expired. So cold calling. I did not cold call her. And the company that I was using at the time had cold called her. And the name, so what they would do is they would put it into a CRM. And so I was ironically checking the CRM that day, had some other things going on in business, and I saw her pop up, and the notes said something in regards to her, like maybe being ready right now. Excuse me. So I called her immediately, and she was like, well, I got to go to work. I think it was like maybe an hour and a half, but I got some time, and it was in Allen. I'm in Allen, and I was like, it's okay. I'll come right now. Like I got a listing agreement together, got what I needed, and what isn't even dressed, which is the key. You need to always be ready, right? Right. I threw on something to wear and drove over there, and she signed it.
Wow.
So getting her on board was actually the easiest, like one of the easiest. And then the transaction was fairly quick as well. We put it on the market. It was right before Thanksgiving, I remember. I got a call the same day.
Wow.
And we officially, because she was going through a divorce. So we had the offer, but I think getting the ex-husband to sign it and everything, we were executed maybe like in 4 days.
Wow.
And closed really quick, like because it was a cash deal,
Oh,
right?
nice.
So it closed really, really quick, and I think it was full price, like. So it honestly wasn't too bad.
Good. Okay.
I've had leases that were more complicated than the $299.
Listen, let me tell you.
And the $1 million transaction.
You see, Jesse,
I do. And the $1 million transaction was the easiest.
Yeah.
So I don't want realtors to think that luxury clients are like snobs or arrogant or stuck up.
That's
and
right.
Want all this luxury attention.
Right.
They were the most humble couple. They were entrepreneurs. They're married. We go to the same church. Like, it was smooth sailing.
Wow.
And I needed to sell their house too. So it was a 2-for-1.
Oh, go on, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. We like 2-for-1s,
yes,
don't we?
We do.
We like 2-for-1s. Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think the future looks like for Dominique Davis as a realtor?
That's a great question. Not having the answer to that would have really bothered me probably 6 months ago. I am completely okay with not knowing the answer to that today, right? Because I wouldn't have even expected to be sitting here 3 months ago, 2 months ago, right? So what I have learned and what the future looks like is just continuing to be consistent in my quiet time and honoring God and listening and being obedient with my yes, right? But definitely as a realtor, just like I said, wanting to be consistent too with numbers, wanting to honor God in the business, potentially. I always said I wanted a family business. So looking at what does that look like? My husband supports me to the nth degree in terms of my husband will wash dishes. My husband will help out more with the baby. My husband, you'll see him putting up signs. Like, I'll take pictures of that. But wanting to see what role does he want to take more in the forefront, excuse me.
Right.
And so, just seeking God about that, being obedient and honoring him.
Good. Okay. Got any vacations planned?
I am flying out Saturday.
What? Oh my goodness. Where are you going?
We are going to Orlando. Funny story, real quickly. When I got my hotel for the retreat, because I was going to use that as like just I've never had like mommy time.
Right.
Like, my baby has always been with me. He's 2. So I was going to use that as like my first woosah moment, right? So I got the hotel. It's a part of Marriott. And so whenever I booked my room, it triggered something. And they ended up giving us like this villa in Orlando, real cheap, like cheap. And so I was like, well, yeah, like 5-day, 4-night villa with my family for sure. Absolutely. And it has now morphed into taking Benjamin to Disney World, of course.
Oh my goodness.
But yes,
that is so sweet.
So we fly out on Saturday.
Nice. I love it. Family time is the best
it's
time.
Needed.
It is so needed, especially with your partner and your children. It is so needed. Like, get rid of all of the outside noise, spend time, get to know that person, even though you're with that person and we're constantly doing things all day long, left and right, just constantly going. Just having the time away from mom, away from dad, away from work, away from the church, away from the community. It does something different for your family.
Every time.
Every single time. And so I don't care. Like my boys, they're in college. If I can get 15 minutes with them, it's like I done had 2 hours with them. So like when Trent was here the last time, I was like, I spent 8 hours with my baby. I cannot believe it. So cherish it, because there will come a time, and now I feel like I'm old.
Please don't.
There will come a time whenever he's gone and he's doing his own thing. And so I never thought I would be the mom to say, oh my gosh, I miss football on Friday nights. I miss counting balls and strikes. I miss going to the concession stand, getting nachos. Like, I'm there now. So They already know no grandkids, but I'm ready for grandkids, so that I can get back involved, because I do feel like that's what kept me going. And I was so ready for it to be done. So you make sure you soak it all up.
Thank you for that advice.
He is so handsome.
With
his little curly hair.
He got a little haircut yesterday, but he still got the curls there.
Oh, so the first day that I met you, I think something was going on with the daycare, or they were calling, or he was sick or something, but you showed me a picture of him and I said, this boy hair looks just like Tyler's when he was a baby. Oh. And I was like, this is so precious. So precious. Okay. So is there anything that you want to ask me?
Ooh, a couple. Where's your next vacation?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm shocked.
I don't know, but I will tell you that we do have plans to watch the ball drop in New York. Now, very nice. I have always wanted to do that. So it is on the list. Now, whether we make it or not, I don't know. But I don't really have another vacation plan. We were actually supposed to go out of town this weekend, but it's going to be raining all over Texas. So we're not going to go. Got it. Okay. And what is next for Monica? Because I know you always got something. I don't know. Well, praise the Lord. I don't know. The thing is, my head is just constantly, and you understand this as an entrepreneur. God wakes you up at 2:00 in the morning, and you better hurry up and jot it down, because we're at the age where we don't remember nothing but did we send an amendment, and it's a sign on time. So I don't know. I really don't know. I love that for you, though. Yes. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, there's like a sense of peace that it's over me right now. And it's an amazing feeling. And like, I'm tearing up now, but it's coming from where I've been. It's an amazing feeling. It like is. When you just learn to just let it all go. And I knew that something was wrong when I went to get a massage. And she worked on just my shoulders and my neck for the whole hour. She didn't touch the rest of my body. And she looked at me and she said, whatever it is, you need to let it go. Because first she asked me, did I have whiplash? And I was like, no. And she was like, have you been in an accident? No. So isn't it amazing how stress affects our bodies? Yes. And we don't know it. And we don't even know it. We think it's normal. I'm glad that I listened to her, and it took a little bit. It took a couple of months for me to let it go, but I finally let it go. And I do. I feel so much better. It's just like, okay. I'm so happy for you. And it's not like it's a nonchalant thing. It's just that you learn how to pivot and you don't always react to certain things. Now, yesterday, I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't do good yesterday. I did not do good yesterday because something took place, and I'm just like, if people would just learn to mind their own business and focus on their business, then they will be okay. And when I'm talking business, I'm talking your real estate business and your personal business. Got it. But when you start worrying about other folks and you and other people's lane, understood. It's kind of like one of them things. Don't come for me unless I send for you. But I did not handle it the best. But anyway, I'm still here. And I thank God for it. So last question that I'm going to ask you, if you don't have any more questions for me, tell me what book you are reading. Oh, I just finished literally 2 days ago, Draw the Circle. And anyone that goes to church with me, they're probably like, you are behind. My church was reading it at the beginning of the year, and it was like a 40-day thing, right? And so we are clearly more than 40 days past the new year. But yes, I just finished it. And then when I got to the back, it didn't recommend, but it had some of the author's other books. And it was Draw the Circle for Our Children, how to pray intentionally over our babies, right? Nice. So I Amazoned it, and it just came yesterday. Good. So I will be starting that today. Good. Okay, well, is there anything you want to shout out anybody? I want you to tell them how to get in contact with you. Let them know you're up in the DFW area. Give them all the sauce. Give it to them. Absolutely. The best way is Instagram. I am always on Instagram. So Dominique Davis _. Same thing on Facebook.
And I have a Calendly link on there, and you can schedule a time to speak with me, and I would love to chat with you. And that's not just buyers and sellers, that's anybody, right? Because that's just so, like you said, it's a walk of faith, right? And we are just learning and growing so much, and sometimes it feels so fast.
Yes.
And what I love about this, not even this business for me, but who God has put me in community with. I just didn't have that in Austin.
Right.
It was different.
Right.
And no, I'm not trying to say nothing bad about Austin, but when God planted me here, right? And the timing and just being obedient, the community in terms of church, the community in terms of entrepreneurs, the community, like just everything, all of it, has just been amazing. So shout out to just my circle, right? And whether you're my inner circle, close circle, outer circle, like whatever, I am just so thankful for my church, One Community Church, and our pastors, Pastor Conway and his wife, Lady Jada. I'm thankful for Rosemary and the platform that she has established in terms of gathering us, right? Because it creates a community of sisters that are in the business or not. And then just that we all have the like-minded spirit, right? It is nothing to pick up the phone and ask you guys a question. And you do it with me too. Sometimes I'm like, did she really ask me that? And not in a way that's like, I'm not telling her that. That's my trade secret or anything like that. I'm just like, I know that sometimes you can't ask people these questions.
You cannot.
They will not tell you.
You cannot. You're right.
It literally took me 18 months. Let's be real. So I did leases that first year. Leases, second year, because first year I only did one deal, right? In December. So second year, I didn't start, the word comes popping, right? And just humble, because I'm not popping like that. But I didn't start selling until September.
Wow.
So all the success I had has really been in one quarter of that second year. It was September to December, and I sold like almost 4 million just in those few months. But it took 18 months. Like people didn't see that process, right? 18 months to figure it out. So when you pick up a phone and call me, when you was like, what's this listing you just got? And how much is it? And da-da-da-da-da. Like, we can't just call up people and answer. They won't answer that. And then you was like, well, how did you get it? And well, what company was it? And da-da-da. And it took me 18 months to figure that out, because that information is just, we didn't have that.
That community.
That community. So just so thankful that we can bounce things off of each other like that. So shout out to all the people.
Yes. All right. So, anything else?
Look, this is your show. I'm on the Monica Kelley show. It is not. If you're not here, get here. Get over here. Come talk to her. I mean, she hooked me up with makeup. We got some more stuff that's coming after.
Yes,
community.
Yes,
support,
community.
love.
Because my whole thing with all of this is empowering the next person.
Amen.
Whether it's a male or it's a female. And the experience that I had the very first time that I came, I said, I have to tell people about this.
Monica.
I have to tell people about this. Not thinking that I would have my own show until he sat here and he was like, and I was like, you know what? Do it. Because oftentimes professionals do not get their headshots. They don't do lifestyle photos. They don't do, all those things. So I want to make sure that I'm empowering the next person. So I did. I tell you who my makeup artist is. She'll take care of you. If she can't take care of you, then she finds somebody that can take care of you. And then, our photographer, Oh,
I can't wait.
You're going to love him. You are going to love him. He is just his spirit and just his energy. What if you do like this? What if you do like this? And I'm like, I don't want to do all of that, but
it looks good.
It looks good. Yes. I'm like, how'd you do that? How did you, but it's amazing. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to help the next person.
And look, you found all that here. You're not even here.
I'm not even here.
And I was like, I've been here.
And I know nothing about this.
Look, I get real country. Like, excuse me.
That's okay.
I'm from Texas.
I'm you to, girl.
Yeah, I get comfortable. That twang come out, right?
That's
but
okay.
yes, I was like, she found these vendors and people here, and I've been here, so I got to do better. But I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And the more that I find, the more that I share. And so before we leave, I do want to give a major shout out to Rosemary Lewis for putting on the Real Estate Bestie Retreat. It was absolutely amazing. I think it was probably about 100 women in the room.
It was amazing.
It was awesome. I mean, we laughed, we cried, we prayed,
and cried,
we sang
and cried,
and cried,
and cried,
and worshiped, and we shared ideas. And I think that was probably the best real estate conference that I've ever been to. And I know it's a retreat,
agreed.
But it was the best one. And I think because it was so personal. But not only shout out to Rosemary, shout out to her team.
Yes.
And let's talk about how her husband showed up and supported every single day.
Right.
Along with her children.
Right.
Now that's how you do it right there. That's so right. I gave her a major shout out. And so I just want to say thank you, Rosemary, for putting that on. And thank you for allowing me to tag along with you for 4 years and always answering my questions about this, that, and whatever it is. I mean, she just shares.
I text her like a week before the retreat and I just said, Rosemary, I've been thanking God, but I just want to personally thank you because as we grow, as we become more visible, our phones do blow up, right? People are messaging on social media and people are calling or texting. And it's not just clients, right? It's people that are wanting to learn from you, right?
Right.
And so God checked me and was like, Rosemary has always, I can't think of one time
that she told me no.
Right.
Yeah.
Has always answered my phone calls, always answered my texts. And so truly she has discipled me from afar. And I gave her flowers and thanked her. Because like I said, I've been thanking Jesus all this time. I was like, no, let me pick up the phone and thank her so that she knows. And it's truly just an overflow, I feel like, of the church that we attend. We attend the same church and nothing like it. Like if you have not been to one community church, get there. I attend the Plano campus, but they have several.
Yeah.
Get there. The leadership, the teaching, it is changing lives.
Wow. Wow. I love it. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode number 3 with Miss Dominique Davis. She is a realtor here in the DFW area. Please reach out to her if you have any questions or concerns about real estate. She will be more than happy to help you. She is polished in the game. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. Stay safe. Have a great week. Love on your family. And we'll talk soon. Bye now.